Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
So the scriptures clearly teach that women are not allowed to preach in the church. They're not allowed to teach in the church. They are to remain silent.
All right, let's see it.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12, but I do not allow a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man, but to remain quiet.
So 3 things to say here. The first is that this notion that women are to keep absolutely silent and aren't to speak in Christian gatherings is only found here in 1 Timothy and then in 1 Corinthians 14, verses 34 and 35. And that notion directly contradicts Paul's counsel elsewhere, where he recognizes the ecclesiastical authority of women who are deaconesses and who are even an apostle in one case. But it also contradicts his counsel that women who are praying or prophesying should just have a head cover on. Most scholars agree this has nothing to do with what a woman is doing in the privacy of her own home, but is about those Christian gatherings. And so it doesn't make sense that women would just need to have a head covering on when they're praying or prophesying in these meetings, but also that they're not allowed to speak at all in these meetings. So what's going on here? This brings up the second thing. Most scholars agree that these passages are pseudepigraphic. They were not written by Paul. They were written decades after his death by someone pretending to be Paul. This is the scholarly consensus regarding the pastoral epistles, so 1st and 2nd Timothy and Titus. And scholars even widely agree that 1 Corinthians 14, 34, and 35 are interpolated passages. And here's a recent open access article you can read if you would like to see a recent argument in favor of understanding those passages and others as interpolations. And so this brings up the third thing. As with all attempts to leverage the Bible authoritatively, we have to negotiate with it in order to decide what texts we're going to center and give priority to, and what texts we're going to reinterpret, marginalize, or outright ignore. Now, usually in that process of negotiation, if we have a case where we have contradictory texts, but we know one of them is genuine and we know one of them is spurious, it's usually a pretty easy process. We prioritize the genuine text and we ignore the spurious text. In this case, however, this creator wants to ignore the genuine texts and prioritize the spurious text.
So if you get down to what the affirming church really is, it's really just a satanic place where people go and shout their hatred at the creator of the universe because they clearly know that the Word of God teaches against the things that they affirm. They're making videos like this because they know that the Word of God teaches against these things, and they're doing this because of their hatred for God. They're expressing their hatred for God in clearly and vehemently and out in your face, contradicting and basically making fun of the Word of God. That's what the affirming church is when you get down to it. It's satanic.
So this content creator obviously knows that affirming churches are well aware of the existence of those passages and that they interpret them differently, but they're not about to directly, much less thoughtfully, engage with those interpretations because that would just muddy the waters and run the risk of validating them. And that's not the point of this video. This video isn't to engage with the other side. The target audience of this video is people who already agree, because this creator is just performing commitment to and conviction regarding their shared dogmas and prejudices. It's about costly signaling and credibility-enhancing displays so that this creator can advance their standing within their shared social identities. It's preying on the street corner to be seen of others, and their reward is all the little digital pats on the butt. And it's very unfortunate that so many Christians today who occupy positions of privilege and power seek to advance their interests by exploiting identity markers that only further marginalize, minoritize, and oppress already vulnerable groups.